Hello, this is Jared playing Oxygen Non-Included, and I'm setting up a base with a very large number of bionic dupes. Only 18 right now, concentrating on power. Last time I made some solar panels over here. See that we've got some wiring that didn't quite work out. We're going to start off by adding more solar panels over here, and then we're going to get into nuclear power. I'm thinking of putting that underneath the solar panels. And we also explored this asteroid and set up a little base over here. Now that we've got a functioning base, we'll start exploring the asteroid and take advantage of some of the geysers, including maybe some gold volcanoes down here. So to start off with, just upgrading some of my wires, just going to make it such that everything is a conductive wire in the base. And I'm also low on fossil. I've been pumping this area out, hoping to be able to clear that. And also got this liquid airlock, and I'm hoping to be able to get vacuum a little bit of hydrogen, unfortunately. But I'm going to try to go around this guy and get out as much of this hot stuff and throw it underneath here, where it'll produce a little power with our steam turbines. And the other thing is, we get a pip here. I want them to plant a few of these wheezy warts. Oh, it dripped true. I didn't even notice that was in there. That needs to be taken out, or that pip may grab it on us. Let's come back down here. See if we've got now. Okay, nice. We might have too much liquid. We can mop some of that up. Maybe do that just to start with. And we get a wheezy wart. Mini pod going in so we can get another dupe on this asteroid. So now we're getting our 19th dupe mold that's going to concentrate on digging, putting them on this asteroid, which is great because there's a lot to dig out of this world. So now we've got several of these placed. I'm going to choose the most radioactive spot right here. Get that, wait to have that turned on. We don't need these doors. That was just holding the pip. Like that guy right there. Alright, so I'm thinking this will be better for our research. Now we've got a much more radioactive zone in between this Red Bull generator. Oh, that's sharing the circuit. Okay, let's fix that. So the material study terminal and Red Bull generator is going to get a dedicated transformer to feed power into here. So carefully digging along in here, keeping our vacuum. So see, this line is not running anymore. I just wonder if we've got maybe too much petroleum in the line. So now that we've got this cleared out, wanting to get all this relocated. So this is a priority action in some very hot material. Having that to go, making sure they're going in the right place, which is up here, to be put in this guy. Awesome. And then once they're done that, to fix this pipe thing, actually it's flowing right now, which is good, but I worked out it might be smart to cool off these plants, because the cooler they are, the cooler hydrogen. So instead of focusing on right here as cooling, maybe come down here as well. Oh, kind of am. Could go down a little bit further, but yeah, I think this would be smart. So we've got some oxylite that's fallen on our solar panels, but because those evaporate anyways, not too worried. What's also a little bit of regolith, didn't realize that would be here too. Okay, so now we're opening up into this with all the hotter stuff removed. So we've got warm stuff, but it's not as insane as it was before. We can excavate this and this little guy too. Beaker having a look at this. That pipe ready to go. Let's now give the command to get this connected here and here. So again, loading some of the newer liquid, or will be. That's a little bit warmer. through the cooling system before it goes down out here. So just before we go into this guy, which we want to excavate as well, I'm just going to put a liquid airlock to protect ourselves from some of the zombie spores. Okay, let's just go like that. I'm noticing that we have ice meteor showers. And if I've got wrong asteroid, melting here and mixing with salt water, which I was planning on using, that might be bad. So reasoning that maybe it makes more sense to put water in here for that reason. Just as I'm trying to put water here, I realized we're not getting water. What's with the blockage right here? That's going nowhere. Let me just disconnect that to simplify. For some reason, maybe this guy needs to be emptied. Let's just make that a priority 6. I don't think that's what it is, though. It's got sand in it. But water is not flowing to where water needs to go. What happened? Just going to try building a second one and seeing if that does anything. Beaker now analyzing our amber fossil. So we have been in need of fossil. So now we have a fossil query. Oh, we need diamond for it. Okay. Actually, some diamond has already been brought over from this world. I'm pretty sure. Let me just double check that diamond's been on the list. Yep. Let's make 99 pieces then. Oh yeah, I can see 17 tons. For some reason, I'll try again, but I was not able to excavate this guy. Speaker giving our query a try. I'm just noticing what has happened. I don't remember why I had that way, but we'll reverse that. Okay. Now we're getting liquid. Whew. Okay, good. So that should allow us to complete this liquid airlock. So I'm looking to get a hydro sensor built right there so that that guy's not going off all the time with small amounts of liquid. Actually, some of that is coming from these guys. Actually, I think most of it. Sprout not able to finish. There's a bunch of deodorizers going to clean up the air. Now we're bringing heavy wires into here. And I'm thinking I don't want to have the same transformer feed both of these, or actually dual transformers. So I'll make a separate set of transformers to maybe do the second half of our doors slash mining equipment. So I'm going to take a little bit of time and address the hydrogen issue. Last time I had a carbon dioxide issue. That is no longer much of an issue anymore, but the hydrogen really is becoming a problem. Could be careful about digging this too wide because we got some hot spots, but fortunately we've got a good amount of space I think we can work with to open this up enough. So we're going to see about taming this guy. Currently idle. Very not extreme cold temperatures. I'm just wondering, yeah, let's smash it open. First thing we got to do is I don't know if we have a researching which was not a big deal. We can create one. We don't. So we will make a researching booster so we can analyze that guy. Now it's time to do the big hydrogen dig. Some more digging and opening up this area. Oh, forgot those are pips. We better close that up. Dropping some liquid, putting in some electrolyzers. There is our second transformer. What's missing? Oh, we need to put that there. And we'll need a little jump. Go across here, and we'll need to switch to steel at some point. Go across here. So there we go. So after doing some research on or analysis on our gold volcano. So quick situation to fix. Gotta just let that drain out. Hold on. Let's not let any more water in until this has been resolved. And dupes, time to do cleanup. Now we do the big mop up. Have to replant some of these mealwood. That's sort of draining out here and here instead. Let's now reconnect that. So it looks like the plan is working. Oxygen is filling up this area, and hydrogen going a little bit higher. It's nice to see. What is the problem here? Oh, you're not actually doing it. Right. That's just because there's more construction to be done. Let's check this other line down here. Now this can aid. Oh, let's just take that out before we send that across. So that will feed the top part of the base. So now we've got our cooling of our mining equipment on this side of the base going in. So with analysis complete, we'll put in our steam turbine systems. Drop off liquid here, a little bit of obsidian that we're able to get from this guy. So starting the process of getting a plastic ladder up here. Just to get this construction done a little bit quicker. So we need more plastics. We'll send this rocket back. Okay, if that's taking off, I plan on having that land over here instead. So we got to get this moved over just to kind of get that away from that ladder. Our rocket has gotten hot. Very, very hot. Well then. Probably because we've been running the orbital data collection while we travel. Ooh. Okay, well, I guess we're going to have to deal with this somehow. It's just a few radiant pipes going in. We'll see if we can create data banks in a different way. In fact, currently trying to research this guy down here. Fortunately, we do have a cooling line nearby. So how about we just tie into that? Some more coolant going in. See if that helps. So we found a copper and a aluminum volcano. I'd love to tame a bunch of those, but our shortage of steel may be a problem. So yeah, to take care of this flooded pump, let's just put in liquid pump, and we'll raise this gas pump a little bit higher than where it currently is. So the goal I have for these guys is to stretch some insulation from here to here, keep this area cool so that our beta hive will be fine. I also see a little opening here in the basidites. We'll cover that up too. Carbon dioxide geyser. Maybe that might be useful at some point. And salt water over here. With iron being the limiting factor, maybe I should crank up this. There might be more iron. There definitely is more iron. I could get over on this asteroid. Okay, so that's something. So installation begins over here. I would like to make a research reactor. So we're going to start focusing on the research for that, realizing I should have definitely done that before trying the data scientists, which I've been working on for far too long. Planning on putting that right here. So just designing some of this. Right now we've got this area here for dupes to come in. Now I'm looking at where we're going to be dumping some water. I'm thinking I'll connect 4 of these together when kind of design this into 2 power plants of 5 on each side. 4 of these will go into this. And maybe we'll have another set. These 3 can dump liquid right there, and then these 3 can dump liquid right next to that. So if we're going to do this, we're going to need to put in some drywalling. So we can do some research while some of the dupes make this. So our rocket now looking green, which is nice. This may cause an issue. I want to drain this pipe out, but if I get rid of that... Oh, actually, no, that should be fine, because I could, as soon as that's taken out, I'll first of all connect that right there. And the extra slack can just fill up with the cooling line for these guys. Perfect. So that was not enough slack to get rid of this. What we'll do is we'll aim to get in some crude oil. Just making sure I change this out. And new crude oil. We'll let that load in before we go. You know what? Maybe we'll take over even more with that right there. So connecting the cooling line for the nuclear power. So now time to test to see. Not sure why. You should be scanning for meteorites. And you are not seeing them. Oh, because they're not, the animation is showing it, but it's not actually on, affecting this particular asteroid. Okay, never mind, never mind. Guess that door didn't need to be shut. So now working on the line that's going to prioritize taking water up instead of down. So down for cooling, but up for going inside the nuclear reactor. This is the line that will go towards that reactor once it's built. And researched, for that matter. So there is the crude oil line, which is going to dump there for liquid airlock. There is crude oil, just realizing should be taking that out for some tiles that'll go in there eventually. Was so confused how a dartle got on my asteroid here. But just noticing there, finally at the point where carbon dioxide not backed up. So those guys squirting out some crude oil. But what must have happened is a little automation here to be able to allow these to be opened. My teleportation was just accepting. You can see a dartle must have laid an egg. Now I was just waiting for everything, so maybe I could either let's just take that off, or I could restrict that to so the critters can't get in there. That's funny. Pressure here over 900 now. What is the temperature? Minus 31. That has gotten much colder. So now the hydrogen that's being produced is being produced a little bit colder too. These guys now prioritizing, looking for iron. So these guys working on their gold volcano. little bit of insulation in this far end. Reaching the back of this room. Just opening up a hydrogen vent. So this is working, except for the fact I'm a little bit nervous about gold building up there. So let's go into this zone. Change this out for RoboMiner. Let's take that out. Changing our RoboMiner out there. Yeah, ready to say, give me all the things, including the gold. It's starting to get pushed through, so we'll get lots of gold, as well as power production. So we won't rely as much on the hydrogen, at least when we're it's Volcanoes active. And that is exiting at a temperature of about 170, 160. Bringing in some igneous rock from this asteroid. We've got 150 tons here. It looks like Swift was riding the hydrogen vent instead of analyzing it, but anyways, a little bit of progress there. Putting in the pieces here. Analysis getting close to complete. This project taking its sweet time. Again, Swift riding the hydrogen vent instead of analyzing it. Let's see what we get. I would love to have another bionic dupe. Nope. A little bit of piping going in here. So starting to get a good amount of steel, which I'm happy about. We'll start to share that with the asteroid that's over here. You can put in bunker protection. Just got a dupe that found themselves stuck. Pebble. Okay. I don't want you to take off that suit. There, exactly. Let's get you dry in a dry area. Now I'll get you to take that off. Find a pebble down here somewhere. There we go. So I don't have any piloting boosters on this rocket, nor do I seem to have any piloting boosters here. I mean, clearly flew here. So dupes, what did you do with your piloting booster? Well past the halfway point of this project that we still have to do the pump, or the, pipes, and the heavy watt wire line. Of course, the nuclear reactor itself. Boarding this mission, we had a failure. Big failure. You need to land back down. The tube needs to go grab some oxygen really quickly. Okay, so what had happened here is I had destroyed my oxygen diffuser when the rocket got too hot. So I'm going to rebuild one, but making one out of gold amalgam so it can take a little bit more heat. It's already heating up even without the, that could be the crude oil coming in actually, more than anything else. Oxygen within the rocket. That's what we want to see. Okay, so now that we've got that, we can go. I need to get more steel, so go back to the home world. What is going on? We've got the crew. I can't click begin. All right, more rocketry. I might maybe a quick reload. Okay, because we had to abort that mission, we spent some fuel. We now don't have enough fuel to get back. Which, there's not a lot of carbon dioxide here. All right. So now we're digging to get access to this guy. Let's be careful though. Currently, it's actually solid carbon dioxide. I'm thinking of having that brought up in here. And now we've got our 20th bionic tube, yawn, that's going to concentrate on sleeping. I actually have two thoughts. First, they could concentrate on making microchips for us, but I don't know if this machine here, if bionic tubes can actually sleep. Click activate. Let's do some testing. I see some iron ore around here. We could use that as well. So now we're needing to build this line that's going to feed this rocket engine. Some carbon dioxide that we'll get from in here. Let's turn that off until we actually have enough solid carbon dioxide in that zone. Just planning the place where we'll have our red bullets escaping and start our cooling line. So now we've got heavy wire line plan from here to here. Just gonna open up some water in here. I mean, that's going to help. Oh, and then maybe we throw that on the ground where that water is. Perhaps that will encourage our okay, solid carbon dioxide rising slowly. Maybe I should have put that in a hotter spot. That was probably not the best at all. Oh, no, it was not the best at all. So these guys starting to get bunker tiles. So coming up with a similar design, except for this time utilizing a warmer area of the asteroid. Now forming the cooling line around this guy. Now we're getting solid carbon dioxide. Did not take that long, so now maybe we'll start getting our pump going. Maybe we don't even need the water in this hotter area. Now we've got an engine we can take off, get more steel. I'm ready for the research reactor. We just have one more. That's actually the data bank. One way to get data banks, they might have been eaten by this. I could claw that back down to 0. This guy also, you're able to inspect it multiple times. So there's a single data bank that will complete our research. Yeah, Jan, I can see that I forgot to give you this. And also, did we ever get oxygen down? We did not. That is because we did not cut in here. So let's make a path to get over there and do that. So now we're connecting our water line. That's going to load in priority into this guy. So now we're at 21 bionic tubes. This is NAP. So we've got the inside here, a little bit of automation. Pump ready to go. We just need to have a storage for nuclear waste. So it just occurred to me, whoever's going to be wearing these pajamas, or maybe they still will have an Atmos suit. I'm just worried about them getting wet. Let's at least get one of these out. I assume whoever's going to wear this, Yawn or Nap, Sap really trying to decide which one. Just throw one. Let's give that to Yawn. Yawn does have 3 boosters for speed. Hopefully that won't slow them down too much. We'll see how... Does their Atmosu go off? Oh ho, it doesn't. Okay. They're still not terribly slow. I'll give them yet more boosters for that. Compared to the other dupes, they are slow, but... Oh, right. And I might as well, if I'm going to do that, we'll have this programming thing. We'll put Yawn here. I can't tell if that second bar... I don't know if this is going to work with bionic dupes. I didn't see dreaming happening. Keep watching this. So it appears this building here is no good with bionic dupes. Get that right there so we can prevent some flooding. But yeah, we're only getting microchips over in this little area. Okay. If that's the case, then I guess there's no point of keeping the pajamas on. So now putting in a storage for nuclear waste right here. Mix that in with some petroleum. So Beaker's going to be using the last little bit of rad bolts from this little setup. I think we are almost ready to go with this. Nuclear waste storage, some petroleum. So yeah, just making sure we get a path to this guy and this guy. Where is our pip situation? Okay, we'll have more pips eventually. We might have something wrong. We're getting a true there, so I'm intending to bring in 4. And you are looking for telling me if I'm ever below 4. That makes more sense. So we're going to get red bolts firing down there. I'm just going to prevent dudes from being able to walk across and get a red bolt in the face, at least at this location. It's just getting these guys to connect a path so we can get a cooling line going up and down from over here. Let's check the temperatures of this guy. Currently, these guys are hanging on, so we'll be able to last. And over here, digging this out for material study terminal. And just a joint plate going in here. And we'll access the other side from the top so that we can get rad bolts over here. So thinking safety here, just preventing having a door to limit access, but rad bolts tubes won't be able to stand here. I've avoided access to that ladder, so rad bolts, rad bolt, ding, ding, ding. We should be fine. Let's make this a laboratory. That needs to point down. So we're going to have this pipe deliver some water into here, and eventually this will become the cooling line. Hammer got themselves stuck. Hang on there, Hammer. There we go. So we've got our laboratory. Just need to make sure we've got some power. The other thing is I want to throw a knot right there. We'll connect that from here to here. We can get rid of that little end. What that's going to do is, with an AND gate, determine whether there's enough radiation for these to run. Either that will go on and off, depending. Over on this asteroid, adding in some water. It's going to go to our hydrogen system. So now we're ready to get our cooling line going. Use some salt water for that. Just a few more wires to go. Let me just check that that's meteorites on this asteroid. It's not. But I haven't seen meteorites land, but clearly they've been here. So we've got some regolith. I haven't seen any damage. So I think the system that I set up last time is good. And now we're getting a true signal. So this laboratory is indicating to the nuclear power plant we need rebels. I'm not allowing the system to run at the moment, but I will now switch that on. Let's put in enriched uranium storage in here. And stop the whole thing because I'm realizing that I have not brought up enough water. Let's bring in water first. So now that I've got a source of hydrogen over on this asteroid, we're going to take that. We will connect it in with this, but we'll load this in at priority. Let's be careful how we do that. I think we're just open to air too. On this side. Didn't realize that. Let's maybe have a mechanized door here. Or here. Oh, okay, figure something out. So I opted for another liquid airlock, similar to what we have over here. So with water going into this, we're loading in the research reactor that's not active for input yet. We'll make sure we get plenty of water here. We'll also make sure we get a full thing of liquid reservoir, just to make sure everything is safe. Just making sure I have insulation now that we're going to get hotter hydrogen. And loading this in such a way that we're going to prioritize getting it from the base so we don't have too much hydrogen in the breathing area. All right, I see that we've got lots of water in here. So what I'm going to do is cut that back off. Maybe have some excess drained into here. I'm going to give the go signal. So with the strength and good suit training, I'm going to get Dash to put on lead suit. Just want to be very careful that we only assign dupes that have lead suit to go in here. So I will go in here and say no one is allowed in. That's the standard dupes. There's no standard dupes. No bionic dupes allowed to go in here. Except for Dash, because you have lead suit. So we'll do that. I will turn that back on again. Oh. No. No. That was... Shoot, I did not want that on. I'll have to clean that up. And here is Dash. A little bit of enriched uranium. And that has kicked off our system. So it is very radioactive. These guys are going. Let's just make sure we get red bolts firing in to our new material study terminal. That's filled that up. So that's going to turn those guys off. So we're not wasting power. Meanwhile, this can eventually will create some power for us. And with all the microchips, we can actually enhance that power even more by making this a power plant. Just realizing that. So start that little plan. And we'll go down here to the this little guy. You no longer are needed, so we'll take that out. It's no longer a dangerous area in here anymore. And we can get rid of this material study terminal and the whole laboratory for that matter. Yeah, forgot the coolant that's going around, though. How are we doing with the temperatures? Oof, okay, we already Yeah, coolant's needed pretty badly. Maybe I'll urgently indicate. At least we have the coolant line ready. Oh, that put that in. Cooling system running now. And just cleared out a little bit of water that had gotten in here. We're getting overheat damage. I think that's just because the cooling line was not ready. So I'm hoping that that's just going to be a temporary thing. I might want to share a bit of the drop off here, or even have a dedicated drop off just for that machine. Similarly, same thing over here. I don't want to waste all my steel on having to do these repairs. The other thing is I want to send a false signal here because I'm going to temporarily get dupes up here where rebels are flying. So I'm feeling like the problem is we just haven't let enough water or steam. So let's get more of that in here. Not to overdo it, but to increase it to what it is. Got a note that the building had melted. What? Oh, not the shale. Ah. Oh, that's terrible. It's gotten over 800 degrees. I remember thinking, there's no way I'm going to have this go over 800 degrees. Oh. Trying to add in more water here quickly. Okay, for now. We'll bring in new stuff. But put in this obsidian, I guess. Just to make that hold. And we're just burning our steel, which is no fun. We need water. We need water. We need water. Well, some good news. We have a bionic dupe as an option. So we're going to get that dupe to specialize in artwork. A little Atmos suit here, art. So now we're adding in new water. Upping the steam. But we got to get this tiling built. These machines fixed as well. It's just occurred to me that only one dupe can go in that room. Let's see, Mallet, you're allowed to go in now as well. Want this thing destroyed, at least for now. Okay, so Mallet has taken care. Oh, and that is melted. Didn't notice that. Okay, we'll just replace that with an obsidian one. So with the research reactor, I'm allowing everyone in. Oh, let's stop adding water. We're just wasting it at this point. I'm going to put in a bunch of shift plates to really distribute the heat. Oh, that's over here. Just have to decide. Probably gold, since we have a gold volcano. Do that in a diagonal pattern. So just putting in diagonal tiles and realizing I can just print over what's there, which is so nice. So I may have let too much carbon dioxide out from earlier, so let's deal with that on this asteroid. So as this is being worked on, dealing with carbon dioxide down here. So now that I've realized that I don't have nearly as much gold because these guys take lots of material, 800 kilograms worth each. I have a little bit of temp shift plates to go from here, 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 and here. And we'll see if that does the trick. So we're letting this deal with all the carbon dioxide. Lucky that's not getting beyond this point. Our actual base still has lots of oxygen. I think this is the first time I had a dupe get their head stuck in a tile in this playthrough, I believe. Mole. Okay, back on. Got our some shift plates in. And we are adding more water than we had last time. That was a big problem. The other thing is that wasn't set to anything appropriate. Now it's set to 50. Let's see how this runs. See if we can get in a power plant. A little bit of radiation vomiting, fortunately. Give out. Whenever that happens, we'll switch over Sprout to lead suits. Of course, they may get sick in that again. That's probably because all the construction that we're doing above here. I should have made those. Yeah. Right. I need to restrict this area to also same rules that is set in here. So that only lead suits can go in this zone. So the other thing we now need to do is make sure that we've got our nuclear waste line going in. Get that set up. We need a true signal here. We no longer have water. Actually, there's a tiny bit of water right there, though. I don't think that's going to be a problem. Like that. So now we've got the process to be able to, oh, right, reverse you. And, oh, right, connect that. What? No. Oh. What did we do wrong? 172 to 26 kilograms. This wasn't connected. Oh, no. That is a mess. All right. Okay. Not having a good day on that asteroid. Over on here. You're analyzed. Can't even get into the room. Currently, I don't know. I'm just wondering if we should wait. If it's okay. I think we're okay to get all the dupes in here. Fixing the damage. There's a lot. And we'll have a new volcano here, currently dormant. Mine at some point. So it appears you can recover from nuclear disaster a lot easier than I thought you could. I'm going to give this signal. Wait. Hold off on doing that. First of all, let's restrict dupes from going in here unless they have their Atmos suit. And whatever settings I have here, let's apply that here. One can cheat. Oh, they can cheat. Okay, maybe a sec. That's also probably going to be very radioactive up there too. So we've got heavy wet wire. We got to work around. Maybe I'll take that up and around. So now I'm going to take the settings from here and apply it there. And now we've got a controlled access, so only dupes with lead suits should be going in here. Maybe we're okay to run this again. Why did you not have a lead suit? Maybe that was just from earlier. Just notice that dupes can climb over. Let's avoid that from happening, shall we? And I found another way that they're getting up. Let's not allow that anymore. These guys busy in here. Things look like they are stable now. So we're having a little bit of water dropped off the ends, but the bulk of it in the center. Higher pressure than there was before. And all importantly, water is connected here. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. There we go, there we go. And did we get power plant? And we have power plants. See, these have actually been tuned up. Okay, that was a lot. That was a lot. And nuclear waste going into the storage here, which is going to slowly make that more radioactive. Red bolt propulsion is what I want to research next. Okay. Having another overheating issue. I was trying to pump out all the oxygen that's in here. We have to go back in. If you could block yourself off, that'd be awesome. Maybe give ourselves... I don't know if we got Peter Cole. We'll see. So this is what I'm thinking. Getting so much water in here that it overwhelms the oxygen and it's just pure steam, and then we'll seal up. Maybe we could approach it that way. I think we're gonna have to take some of these out until we're actually got that water going though, because we're just burning through steel again and again. At least let's have a look over here. At least this seems to be working. Okay, so that volcano has blocked himself out. This is going to give us a little bit of time now to figure this out properly. So we're going to see if this is going to overwhelm everything and push out carbon dioxide in this case. Can't tell, old pieces of carbon dioxide being a little pain. Maybe we need to do an up-down instead of a left-right exit. A little bit of oxygen, pushing that out maybe. Have that carbon dioxide waiting for you to get out of there. And we've actually lowered the temperature such that we don't really have steam, but that may be fine. So maybe we'll go back to the original plan, creating a vacuum and digging this guy out afterwards. And here is another dupe. This is a symbol. This dupe is going to join these guys. Let's make sure that we got an Atmos suit for a symbol. Actually, I wonder, do we have We don't have enough lead. Wait, an Atmo suit will do. Okay, so we just need to have this sealed up. Let's just take the power off until that's the case. Now we're putting in the cooling line. This aluminum volcano. All right, our 24th dupe shuffle. Get them to focus on moving stuff around, so they'll need a little bit of strength. Give some strength boosters. So figuring that pump is just going to last forever, so we're going to go in here. Create a second pump. Okay, so now that I've got two of these guys, yeah, that was definitely worth coming in here. Can we get rid of the pumps? So cannot figure out why I've got far too many of these critters. Got the 8 in here and 32, despite the fact that that's set to 8. Slicker larva. Slicker. Oh, that's one problem. I don't know if that's related to what I had going on. But eggs are able to be taken out. And now that we've got that, let me see if I can plug you in. That is opening up the mine, or the volcano. He'll start erupting, and let's specify everything to be taken out. Oops, I guess that doesn't actually work unless I actually have a drop-off spot. Let's do that. Okay, so with that regolith, that's an indication that, yeah, we need a little bit of a change. So this is the closest I'd be able to send a rocket out. Actually, that worked perfect. So we'll keep that going up to this point. How did... Oh, maybe I shouldn't be... How did you... What? Oh, I see. You went up from there to the... Oh, that's... Okay. That's how some dupes possibly are getting still sick. Ugh. Okay. Get out of there, Zap. Zap, no. Zap, don't. Another bionic dupe animal joining the base. Let's see if we can... I might actually go to lead suits with far more dupes. Sparks... Oh, Sparks currently set. That's the thing. Once the dupes are sick, you don't want to put suits on. Then I have to go down here. Say those dupes aren't allowed in, so it's getting a bit much to manage. And this volcano running, so that seems like it's decent. So we've got a source of aluminum and a source of more power. Whew, okay. So everything here seems to be working except for one of you. One steam turbine is not quite like the other. There seems to be a confusion. Normally this is not an issue, but I normally don't have dedicated spots to drop off water on these guys. Like I have for this, which... Why are you not? Oh, you are. You're just, sometimes sending it up. I might, in that case, get rid of that. What I could do is just force the direction to go this way. I don't know why that's not an issue with the other setup, but I think that should fix it. So this isn't exactly working either, because now we are going up this direction. We're not using this as going down. So now we've got this guy acting funny, but it's running like some of the time. Wondering if I put a bridge right here, whether this would force the whole thing to work. There we go. Both are going down. And both are running. Okay, not having luck over here. I think that's a lack of steam issue. Let's try to fix this. I think we just need to add more water. Okay, so we got that guy repaired. More water going in. Oh, well, it was an absolute slog today. But at the end of it, I've got my research reactor going here, and this is pulling in a ridiculous amount of power. I think I might actually get everyone to get Atmo suits in so everyone could go in the zone. But anyways, also trying to pull in more power from the other asteroids just by getting underneath a few volcanoes to take a heat source from that. 25 bionic dupes. I'm hoping to get ridiculous amount. We'll see how much I can support. But with this reactor, and as long as it keeps going, this is going to be a ridiculous amount of power. I've noticed one thing. Since we've had that running, we're not burning as much hydrogen, which means this hydrogen we'll have to come up with some sort of hydrogen storage, or just get more bionic dupes. Anyways, definitely some sort of storage thing will be needed in between. But anyways, that is that much. Thank you for watching, guys. Hopefully I will see you another time playing a little bit more Oxygen Not Included, trying to set up this space with a ridiculous number of bionic dupes. Only 25 so far, but hoping to get a lot more.